Welcome to another Arts Class and everything in between. I am your host, Eileen, aka The Little Crafter. Hello everyone. I have a few things that I'd like to say before I get into my must-watch summer anime. First off, every podcast has a link to a corresponding blog post. My blog is eileenthelittlecrafter.typepad.com. I was going to change the link, but it doesn't seem to be working so far, so in case you guys want to see that. But you can also find the link to my blog on my website, which is eileenthelittlecrafter.com. On the left-hand side, you'll see a list of like contact me, photos, blog posts, YouTube videos, podcasts also can be found there. So everything that I work on for, if you hear that noise, I'm terribly sorry. That's what I get for living in the city, right? For living in the city, right? Anything that I do or work on, like my podcasts, arts class, and everything in between, and the Little Crafter Show, is basically on my website, which is Eileen the Little Crafter, and each title has a link to, like, let's say if you click on the blog post, if you look on top, it has this big word that blog. You click on that and you'll go to my blog directly in case you don't see the post, because sometimes it does take the RSS link a little longer than usual to load it up every once in a while. So yeah, in case, sorry about that, trying to get a little more comfortable. I'm in a awkward spot. Anyway, so that's basically that part. I would like to thank everybody that's been listening. Thank you to my subscribers on Speaker. I got a new one. Thank you so much. So we're up to 45. Woohoo! What else was I going to say? Okay, so I want to say that. And thank you for everybody that's been listening on other little medias that I have. My podcast on, Google Plus, YouTube, on my blog, website, anywhere that you can listen to it. I really 100% appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I'm not just saying that. I really enjoy doing these podcasts. They're fun. They help. I mean, it's kind of therapeutic for me because I love interacting with people. I love sharing new things, and I think that this kind of puts everything into perspective in that sense. So, enough of my blabbering. On to the must-watch summer anime. Now, I'm still watching some of the spring, which are now summer anime. So, I'm not going to bore you with that list, but I will put a link to those particular anime onto I really had a brain for it right there. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get it together here. Okay, now that we got that together, woo, Nelly. My must-watch anime. Now, the spring anime is what I wanted to say. I'll put a link to that in with this post so that you guys can see that. Okay, so now what was I gonna say? So this is my must-watch summer anime, and there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually, believe it or not. Number 1 is The Gate. The main guy of the hero of this anime basically is kind of a slacker, and he says that I only work to support my hobby. When a gate opens up in the middle of Japan, and this army with people and mythical creatures like dragons, ogres, come out and they start attacking the people of Japan. So they got defeated, they got pushed back, and they have the gates closed off so that nobody can come through. But for some reason, they decide to go through the gates with the army, and I guess either annihilate them or take over, or I don't know what their intentions are as of yet. I haven't finished watching part 2, so they already have part 2 on that one. Rokka, Rokka, is Brave of the Six Flowers. That one is also the Gate, and Brave of the Six Flowers can only be found on Crunchyroll. That's the word. So, Brave of the Six takes place in a mythical, imaginary universe where the god or the goddess basically defeated the evil god, king, whatever. Anyways, so in doing so, she had to also relinquish some of her power, and in order to protect the people and the next generation of them, she scatters 6 flower petals, and they give a symbol which tells you that you are one of the brave. And because the evil god is still, he can't be killed, so he basically is just sleeping, and in the process, before he wakes up, he sends out his evil minions to do dirty work. So they have to conquer that issue and then try and defeat the evil king and meet up with the braves at the same time. So that's a pretty interesting. They have some really good characters so far, and that one has 2 episodes so far. Chaos Dragon can be found on Hulu and Funimation. So far, I only seen 1 episode, and it was a doozy. It has a lot of information on it. And this show is about a kingdom that got overthrown through war. The prince doesn't want to take the throne because he feels that a king is the reason why kingdoms go to war and people get hurt, and he doesn't want anyone to die anymore. But the deity and his people want him to succeed. So that is pretty much the premise so far. I'm kind of paraphrasing it, so don't email me or say, oh my god, you got it wrong. No, I'm just paraphrasing as much as I can without boring you to death, and without, I don't know, any legal whatchamacallit, you know what I'm saying? Aquarius Logos is also can be found on Funimation and Hulu. Excuse me. I don't know if it's part of the chapter 3 or just part of the Aquarius brand per se of anime. The main character of this one is kind of quirky and funny. He has a weird personality, which is cool. He basically tells everybody, walks around and tells everybody, I'm here to save the universe, you need me, basically. And the bad guy basically turns kanji or words into beasts that go around destroying things. And it's in his sick, twisted way, he says to help mankind. So, I don't know. That one has 2 episodes, which is awesome. And this one is called Rampo Kidan. Rampokitan. Game of Laplace. It could be found on Hulu and Funimation. The main character basically is bored with life, and he just sees everything in black and white. He's very intelligent, by the way, and he basically sees things in black and white, and anything that interests him, he sees it in color. And one day he wakes up in his classroom and he finds that his teacher has been killed. So he goes on basically an adventure with his best friend. They also run into because the police call him, the high school detective, who kind of thinks that this guy is the killer. And the suspect wants to become his apprentice, and he tells him, the high school detective tells him, well, if you want to become my apprentice, solve this case, and then you'll be my apprentice. His best friend thinks he's crazy, and he doesn't really want him to do it, but he wants to do it anyways because it's a challenge and he likes it. So that was pretty interesting. That kind of reminds me of a little bit of another anime that's like sci-fi kind of mystery horror. I don't know if it's sci-fi per se, this one, but the one that I'm talking about is called Another, which is really good if you haven't caught that one. ANOTHER, Another. And that one I really like, and I really wish that they would have shown the prequel. They have a movie out in Japan where it's a prequel to this, and I think that it may have helped with some answers to certain things. But in anywho, that's just me. Alrighty guys, so again, my blog is EileenTheLittleCrafter.com, or my website. And I will have a link down to the blog post. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them anywhere you can, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.